Henry Golding, who is weighing in on that horrific attack we saw in San Francisco last week. The two elderly women, Asian women, who were stabbed by this madman.
This is just unbelievable. Unbelievable.
You know, there's been a lot of effort in Hollywood and outside of Hollywood just to increase awareness of Asian hate crimes. So we got Henry Golding out in Beverly Hills and asked him if this, when you see what happened in San Francisco, does this make you think that it's hopeless? We're not, we're not reaching enough people, or what's the reaction from Hollywood? And here's what he had to say.
It's horrific.
Right.
I think people who are doing it, they're just cowards. I mean, they're like 80-year-old women, essentially. Like, they wouldn't hurt anybody. So, you know, I hope there's a difference, and there's a lot of people trying to stand up to it.
Is this something that you feel like you have to talk to your family about during these trying times where you see so much of this sort of violence going on?
I think there's, you know, that's the sad fact. You do have to address the situation with your parents or, you know, the people most vulnerable. And it's valid, you know. You just don't know what's happening out there. Is there a light at the end of the tunnel? We sure hope so. I think it's, you know, it's around the corner, but it's going to take a lot of educating, a lot of sort of fighting the good fight, and, you know, hope for the best.
You know, I got to tell you something. I find this so not just upsetting, but I was thinking about this. We've spent a whole year talking about Black Lives Matter, talking about how people need to kind of eliminate the hatred in this country. And it seemed like people were making progress on the BLM front, but how can there be progress in terms of the hatred when you see stuff like this?
You see this.
I don't understand that.
The anti-Semitism at synagogues that have been vandalized all over. So
how are things getting better if this is going on?
And he does say there, you heard him talk about, you know, continuing to educate. I had actually seen a piece on the news recently about how more and more people are signing up for these self-defense classes because of situations like this. It seems never ending. So people are really taking the education part serious and getting self-defense as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
it's a shame that they have to. And when you hear Henry Golding saying like that you have to talk to people in your family about it, I honestly, if I were an Asian American in San Francisco,
you'd be scared. You would be scared.
Yeah.
Hi, how are you? Patty Brady from the Hamptons. In reference to Henry Golding, I agree with him. It needs to be a lot of like education. Not only about Asians, but also about all the cultures, because it seems that people have lost respect from one and another. So I think needs a lot of education, starting from kids.
I'll tell you, what I keep thinking about is just 1968, and you and I have talked about this. But it was the darkest year of my life, just in terms of what was going on in the country. We have surpassed that. We have surpassed that, I think. It's really sad.